I feel like you just don't want smoke from the Jamaicans.
No, I don't want them to cook me.
You got Sharika, you got Shelly.
Want,
These are like fan
I
favorites, you know.
Yeah, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke.
Yeah. You're scared.
Side pieces unite. Get in here. Why? It's episode 16 of Trackside. That is why. It's our last episode before the World Championships in Tokyo. It's also our last one with Aaron Brown. Okay, your 7th World Championship team. You're going digging for gold. I'm going to call you a gold digger in the best way, of course. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm going gold digging, like you said. I got a long flight ahead of me tomorrow, so I'm prepared for that. And, I got the braids back, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to go.
Birchmount braids. You started your career with the braids, and you are growing it back all the way to LA.
Yep.
Let's go.
You see the hang time, too? It's coming along.
Yes. We're gonna cue up Mario's braid my hair. Come. Let's start the show. I'm digging it though. All right, the braids are back. AB will be at the track doing his thing in Tokyo, as you know, but I'll be joined by CBC reporter Devin Haru every day from the literal trackside in Tokyo of the National Stadium. The two of us will have a daily recap episode for you. We'll be here live, here as in on CBC Sports YouTube channel, every day as soon as that day's competition is over. Side pieces, that is right, assemble. Get here, please, because we're going to have everything broken down. I'm really looking forward to it, AB, because it's like about time that this incredible stadium gets a do-over with some actual fans in the stand, because, 2021, 2020, COVID, that thing. Oh, I cannot wait for the World Championships. Okay, so we love our producers. They work hard for us. They're amazing. They also feed us to the wolves because Aaron Brown, they want us to do a prediction for some of the most compelling, the most contested competitions, races of, and you know how I feel about predictions. Anyways, thank you. Whoever had this genius idea. We love it so much. Okay, men's 100. AB, do I have the pleasure of going first, or would you like to go first?
Yes, please. You start off the madness, because this is hard for me, right?
Yeah.
Not only am I a competitor, but I have my teammates.
True.
I gotta be fair. I gotta use logic.
This is
I gotta be
true.
balanced. It's a lot of mental gymnastics. So you go first. I'll get my thoughts ready.
Okay, whatever we do, we're gonna do it with our chest. Okay, so I had to write everything down. So my pick for the men's 100 is Kishane.
Okay.
Silver, Noah, and I'm giving Oblique the third, and he better not piss me off. So, and I say that because Oblique always fourth, great on the season and gets the championships in fourth. I think he's gonna put it together. I also know it is so stupid and ridiculous to bet against Noah, but I want no beef with our Jamaican fans, so I'm putting Kishane number 1, and I actually do believe he can do it.
Okay. The Jamaican fans are gonna be happy with me on this one. And as much as it pains me to say, I have two of my teammates, Courtney Lindsay and Kenny, in there, but I feel like they're better suited for the 2 this year. The 100 is just so tough. And
yes.
Kenny's been on fire. He ran 9.7. Courtney ran 9.82. But I just like Oblique in the way he's been looking. I know the only reason why most people don't have him as their pick to medal or even to win is because of the past. But if you throw that out, if you just go on this season alone, it's hard to pick against Oblique. I mean, the other thing would be him beating Kishane finally, because every time he lines up against Kishane, he hasn't gotten the better of him. I just feel like Kishane's going to be so fixated on trying to beat Noah that Oblique might slide past and take the gold. And he's looked great against Noah. I'm just going to ride with it. And I know it's a hot take to some, and, I would love to ride with my boys and pick Kenny to win, like I've been doing all year on Trackside, but I'm going to try and be objective on this one. So I'm going to go Oblique winning. I'm gonna give Noah the silver, and Kishane the bronze. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and I don't feel great about it. I'm gonna be honest.
I agree.
I might change it up about 100 times after we finish this recording, and wish I said something different. But I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, let's talk about the 200 meters. And by the way, folks, we are going to look back, like in our wrap show, post show. We'll talk about that later. But we are going to look back at these predictions and see where we squared up, like who had more right, who had more wrong. Okay, men's 200 meters then.
All right, so this one, obviously, I'm in this event, so I'm going to take myself out and assume, obviously, I'm not going to go with myself for gold, silver, bronze, because I'd love to do that. I'm going to go with Noah to win this. I'm going to say that he gets his revenge after the 100, after he loses that title, comes back and wins the 2 again. I'm going to go with Kenny silver and Chebet third.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I know you can't pick yourself for sure, and so we are biased. So we'll do away with that. So mine is Noah, world number one. Like it's kind of an easy pick. Letsile Tobogo, and then I have Kenny for bronze, which feels a little bit controversial for me to have Kenny, who's been undefeated, well, except for Noah, for bronze. But that's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean it's a toss up between those three, and you got Brian Lavelle who ran 19.6, so you can't count him out. But I just feel like these three are proven, and Kenny, I would love to pick him to win. I just feel like Noah just has a knack for running people down at the line. And I can't ignore that, as much as I'm biased and I love my boy Kenny and I want him to get that dub and I want to throw Courtney Lindsay in there, to mix it up for that bronze. I just have to, again, try and not be biased. And maybe this is going to be the fuel to the fire that pushes Kenny over the top. He's like, AB, what are you doing? You're my boy. You're supposed to pick me for the win. And I want that to happen. I want to be wrong. But, I just got to call it like I see it.
I feel you. When I saw Noah with that new hair, I kind of was like, I got to pick Noah. Okay, moving on to the women's 100 meters. You want me to go or are you going to go?
You go. We're back and forth. Tennis.
Oh, yeah, that's tennis. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Julian Alfred, duh. I'm St. Lucian. But I'm also applying and looking into like Canadian citizenship by descendancy. So if they see me not picking her for number one, I don't want them to delete my file. But it's definitely by heart, Julian anyways, okay? Like, I'm not going to lose that passport. And then Melissa for second, which feels counterintuitive in a way because this woman is on a roll. She has momentum. She's a 10.6 versus a 10.7, which is, you could put a piano between them based on that time difference. But I got to go with Julian because my heart is like, she's so upset about being second fiddle to Melissa Jefferson winning. That's going to propel her. And for bronze, again, do I go with heart? Do I go with stats? What do I go with? It's between Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She always finds a way for bronze. She's going to find a way. Or do I go with Kayla White? 1084, world number 5. Just younger, springier. I don't know. But it's between those two. I know I'm kind of hedging my bets. What say you?
Okay. I got Melissa winning, and I love to pick this one because I had to go against my homerism with Star Athletics in the men's event. So in this one, I can double down and make up for that. So I'm going Melissa with the win. She's been on fire all year. She's running 10.6s so easily. She's in the zone, and I really feel like she's on pace to go 10.5. I predict her going 10.5, like about 10.59, 10.58 around there. Assuming there's no, torrential rain or headwinds or anything crazy like that. I think 10.5 is on the books for her. And I think Julian comes in second with probably a 10.6 mid. I think she'll PR as well. It's just that race in Prefontaine, man. I can't get over it. Melissa was hot, and the only thing that wasn't improving was how she would do it with people with pressure right beside her, and she handled it swimmingly. She just kept doing her thing. Julian was on her neck, and she said, nah, this is my time. And I think it's going to be the same story in Tokyo. And then for bronze, I'm going to go with Kayla White. Again, another one of my training partners. And I just feel like she has more motivation, more than anybody else. I was thinking about Tina Clayton. She looks good, but I feel like Kayla has something to prove. She missed all of last year because she had an injury. And I think this year she just wants it all. So that's my podium.
Okay. The fact that you're leaving a GOAT out of the medal conversation, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
I would love to. I'd love to. But, she's had such a great career, and I think just her making the team is an accomplishment on its own. I'd love to see her get another medal just to end off on a storybook high. But, that's not...
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce
This is not a fantasy book.
Aaron Brown doing all this talking. Jamaican fans in the comment, please. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Just saying.
Hey,
all right.
I'm the biggest Shelly-Ann fan there is, but I gotta call it like I see it.
That's true. I have to give you a hard time. This is my last show with you. I have to give you hell.
I know.
Okay. I'm gonna miss you. That's why. Okay, we gotta talk women's 200. 200.
Yep, women's 2. Okay, so I actually feel like Julian is the favorite in this event because she's been doing 400. She's been doing threes. She's looked really strong all year. She's been the faster athlete versus Melissa and the rest of the field. She ran 21.70. 21.71 this year into a headwind. So she's looked really strong. I almost want to pick her. No, I'm going Melissa again. And I think it's going to go to the line. Yeah, I'm a homer. But I just feel like when you have that momentum, it's going to carry you to it. She really wants to get it done, and I'm going to pick Melissa to win. Julian's going to be nipping at her heels, and it's going to the line. Bronze, that's where it gets tricky for me. I'll go Brittany Brown.
Nice.
Yeah, Yeah, she's a silver medalist last year at the Olympics. She's a really strong clutch performer. She got that Diamond League win back to back. She got it last year. Won Athlos as well, so she beat the Olympic champion last year, Gabby Thomas. I just feel like she's a gamer, and she had to claw her way to get on the team, and she's not gonna do that in vain. She momentarily had that dream ripped away from her, where she wasn't on the team, and then had to go do it the hard way. Earn her spot, and I just feel like now she's got the momentum on her side. And don't sleep on Dina Asher-Smith as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go.
Now you're going to fourth territory now, Aaron Brown.
No, I got Dina for fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, for fourth. Okay. When we were talking offline, sir. Okay. When we were having our production meeting, you were actually team Julian for 200. Now, sudden on camera, you're switching up on me, talking about Julian's doing all this 400-meter work, 200-meter work, 300-meter work. She's undefeated. Yeah. Now look at yourself, Aaron Brown. Yeah. Explain what happened in 24 hours, sir.
Like I said, sometimes when it's just your time, it's your time. And I just really feel like Melissa's going to get that double. I don't feel great about that either. I feel really strong about the 100, and I would be willing to put money on it.
What do you feel good about?
In that 2, I feel like Julian could get her there. That's where she's a little bit more vulnerable, and Julian does look really strong. But like I said, momentum's on her side, and I'm just going to go with Melissa.
You didn't answer my question, but I feel like you're answering these under duress, and it's so hilarious to
I know.
Because you don't like doing this. I can tell. Not for all these events. Okay, let me give you mine. I do have Melissa winning the 200 meters. And then I have Julian for second. And Brittany Brown or Mackenzie Long for third. Sorry, no, my bad. I misspoke. Sharika for third. Although she's 13th ranked, but I mean, her pedigree says all. And then Brittany Brown or Mackenzie Long. But I'm going to lock in Sharika. But let me say something quickly.
I feel like you just don't want smoke from the Jamaicans.
No, I don't want them to cook me.
You got Sharika, you got Shelly. These are like fan favorites,
Yeah, I don't want the smoke. I don't want the smoke.
Yeah. You're scared.
No, I'm scared. No, I'm not. No, the truth is, for me, I go with stats. No, I'm not going with stats if she's 13th. But I also go with pedigree and what you've done before. And as a champion, when your back is against the wall and you've been there before, you're not scared. They're not afraid. Let me I need to back something up. Okay. And this is again me playing psychologist, but here we go. This is just what I do. Women's 200 meters, the complexion of that race for me will change based on who wins the 100-meter title the days before, right? But you had me thinking, actually, Julian Alfred has been running all these early seasons like 300, 400. She's undefeated. And I think that's helped her last like 50, 75 of that 200, which I've always felt was really scraggly. Like, those loose ends of hair that people don't like to cut because they're scraggly? Yeah. I felt like that was the part of her. It was just like a little girl. And she snipped it and she's got it tight and right. And so now I actually think she might be a problem. I don't know if I've answered it, but I don't know now. Now I'm second guessing if I should go with Julian.
You're just as confused as me. This is tough.
Confusion is high.
Yeah, these events are hard to pick.
This is hard to pick. You know what? St. Lucia, Julian first, because I want that passport. Okay, now let's go by descendancy. Okay, let's move on. What are we doing next, guys?
Men's 400-meter hurdles.
Oh, gosh. Dang it. Why are we doing this? Men's 400-meter hurdles. Do I go or you go?
What you got? I think it's on you now.
I'm going to go. My goodness. They're setting us up, eh? They're going to. Okay.
I know.
So I'm going to just take the bandit off and go. There's 3 people that are going to get the medals. To me, there's Rye, there's Karsten Warholm, and there's Alison DeSantos, friend of the show, who's been on our show. Hilarious. Go back and watch that episode. So if you asked me this before I saw Karsten the last maybe 2 races, I would be like, oh, Rye, all day. When I saw Karsten Warholm, you were better than me at knowing where they last raced because it's all a blur to me. Again, Celestia. That's why we have producers. Yes, 46-28. When I saw him do that, it reminded me of me seeing him in 2017 when he first came on the scene. I believe it was London. And I was like, and he has that again. So, but where's Rye? Rye's somewhere cooking though. Rye is cooking and he's going to have something. So that's my answer. So Karsten, Rye, but it's going to be close. And then Alison DeSantos.
Okay. Well, we actually agree. I have the exact same podium. And, Rye is one of the greatest talents out there.
Facts.
If this was a flat 4, I would go Rye all day. But something happens when Karsten gets over those hurdles. He is just a different beast. And he's got that look in his eye. Like, he lost the Olympic title last year. And he is pissed. Like he said, he looked mad. That 46-2 that he ran in Celestia was super impressive. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Rye's PR is 46-2. So only Carson has gone faster,
Mm,
and he's gone 45.9. Let's not forget that. So he has that in his legs. I just feel like he's going to go to a zone where Rye can't quite get there. And I believe he'll be able to PR again.
I agree.
I just don't know if it's enough to beat Karsten.
I agree.
And it pains me to say that. I would love to see Rye get another title, fellow USC Trojan, but I just gotta, I gotta roll with the Viking. And then, of course, DeSantos will be in the mix. But again, Carson can go somewhere that nobody else has been able to go. All right, women's 4. Oh, I love this event so much because, you got Sydney, you got Paulino, and you got Nasser, who just won 48.70. So you can't sleep on her. Before it looked like it was going to be Paulino versus Sydney, but Nasser says, hey, don't forget about me. This is going to be one of the best races of the entire championships, and I can't wait to see it because it's going to set a lot of debates. And I'm not wavering. I'm going with Paulino. I'm sticking with it. I'm going Paulino for the win.
Consistent. Wow.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Paulino. I'm going to give Sydney the second silver, and I'm going to go Nasser bronze. I think Nasser's going to go out like a bat out of hell.
And pay for it later.
I don't think it's going to be enough to hold on, but she could. That's the crazy part. She could hold on. That strategy could work. We've seen it before in Doha where she held on and ran 48.1. I just don't know.
You feel good about this one, friend? You feel good about this prediction?
I don't feel good at all, no. I'm doing so many mental gymnastics. I'm like, is this really what you want to say? But yeah, I'm going to 10 toes down it. Paulino for the win. Sydney for the silver. Nasser for the bronze. And we might see a 47.9.
Yeah. Oh, 47.9 is nasty. Okay, so we have the exact same strategy. I'm not going to tack on more. I'm not going to add on more. We have the same exact strategy. I think Sydney is not experienced enough. However, her coach is the legendary Bob Kersey. And if anybody can get it right, I mean, it's Bobby Kersey. Let's just say that. Yeah. But I think I'm going to go with My Lady. I think you're right. I think Salwa is going to go out too hard, and she's going to pay for it later. They're going to put a piano on her back at like 375, and she's going to go backwards, and then it's the end. So that I agree. I agree with that. Okay, men's 800. Thank you for keeping me straight because I'm just shook about doing all these predictions.
You're good,
I don't do predictions. Okay, men's 800 meters. Okay, let me write down my notes. I have my notes here. And this was hard, but I have Wanyoni for first, world number 1. And then I have Marco for second. And then I have, this is hard. I'm between Coop, the 16-year-old, who's not even 17 yet till December. I know, or... because his best is 6th in the world. And then I have a Max Bergen of the UK, who was second in Zurich and who's 7th in the world. Now, I want to hear what you're going to say before I lock in my third. But those are my first 2. Marco Silver, Wanyoni first. Who do you got?
We have the same first 2. I'm going to go Wanyoni for the win. I want Marco to get it.
I do too.
But 100%. I just feel like Wanyoni is just... It just feels like it's his year. Yeah, he's locked in. He's in his zone. He's been winning everything. It's going to be tough. And, it's going to be a super fast race. Yeah. I got Marco for the silver, despite what all the other platforms are saying where they got my boy off the podium. That's just crazy talk. This is Marco Arop we're talking about. And then for bronze, I'm going to go Donovan Brazier. I think, this is his comeback story. And I think that he's going to have that signature kick. And I like him for that bronze. I was thinking about Max Bergen. He looked really good. Almost dethroned Wanyoni for the win in Zurich. But, I'm just going to go for Donovan Brazier. Sometimes you just got to go with narrative. When it's close, you just go with narrative and who has the most momentum. That's what's been leading a lot of my picks because I don't really feel great about a lot of these picks. But I'm like, momentum-wise, okay, they got it. Like, Oblique, he beat Noah twice. He was running away with it. He ran 9.8 in the rain. Yeah, no, momentum says, he's got it. So, again, Wanyoni, Marco, Brazier.
I'm going to lock in the 16-year-old. Based on inexperience. This guy doesn't even know he's in like the fire. He doesn't even know what he's about to do or where he's going. He doesn't even know how to put a singlet on. I'm just joking. I'm teasing. He's never worn one. Meaning the bib. But I'm just saying, I just think when you were so like inexperienced, you're just like, okay, this is great. I don't think he has anything to fear. So I'm going to put that in there.
That is great. He's on the other side of the world. I mean, he might be up in the middle of the night when it's race day. Might not get any sleep. This is the biggest race. Yeah, I mean, he's like a LeBron James type talent in high school. But wow, if he pulls that off, that's wow.
This is true. We're gonna go back to tape.
Let's go to your event, the women's 100-meter hurdles. I believe it's my turn. So
who you got? This
is
hard. This is impossible.
This is very hard. This is very hard. Even choosing this in Diamond League's races, this is hard. But Narrative says Masai Russell.
Yeah,
She's been
let's go.
winning. She's been very consistent. She's run some of the fastest times we've ever seen this year. She ran the American record 12:17. She ran a 12:19. She ran a 12:22 to win nationals. But I'm giving her the silver. I'm going with Akira Nugent to win.
Man.
Akira Nugent looked really good last year, coming off of the Olympics when she didn't win.
And you've seen enough from her on the circuit?
strong.
You've seen enough on her on the circuit
I just feel
to
like
beat this?
I do.
Okay.
I think she's gonna put it together and run like a 12-2 mid, like a 12:24-ish, 12:25 around.
Love that.
I got Masai for second. She's gonna lose it on the line, and then I got Grace Stark for third.
Oh, who's on the line? Okay, good picks, good picks. Okay, so my pick, Lord, here we go. I don't want to answer. I don't want to answer.
You threw out the disclaimers. Now you gotta drop something spicy.
I did. Okay. I'm going with Masai Russell because how do you bet against a 12-17, 12 this, 12-teen, 12-teen world number one? I just can't. For me, that would be ridiculous. Okay, my number 2 is world number 3, Grace Stark. She's a 12-21. That used to be like the old world record back in the day, like in my dyno years. Like that is smoking. And then this is where it gets a little bit tricky, okay? This is where it gets a little problematic in my head, and I understand what you're feeling, Eric, because I'm like, why am I talking about this? Okay, so Nadine Visser is on a tear right now. World number 6, 12:28. But then you have Akira Nugent, the Jamaican, 12:30, who's proven under pressure in these circumstances she can get it done. And then you have the world record holder of Nigeria, Toby Amusan. Where is she? You could never find her.
Forget about her.
But come on, this is number 4 in the world right now, 12:24.
Yeah.
When there is something on the line out of nowhere, where's Toby? Look her. She figures it out. So like, how do you bet against the world record holder who knows in championship settings how to figure it out? So do you put a Nadine Visser over the world record holder? Like, I don't want no smoke. So I gotta lock in though. Okay, Masai Russell, Grace Stark. Backside. Nadine, Akira, Toby. Yeah. And it's the hurdles. That's all I'm going to say to y'all, because you know I know. You know I know. So I'm going to go Nadine Visser.
Okay. That's not a bad pick.
No.
It's not a bad pick.
No.
And I just feel like in the hurdles, it's so unpredictable that you can't pick what feels the most obvious. Like Danielle Williams is a 2-time world champion. Where did that come from? You would have never picked her.
Never.
So I just feel like you got to go with the unpredictable in this event. That's why I didn't go complete narrative, because the obvious pick is Masai Russell. I mean, like you said, how can you pick against that? But I just feel like just weird stuff happens in this event.
Stuff happens. I just lost the hoop. Anyways, the show must go on. Aaron, you're right. We didn't get a chance to go to this, and we don't actually need to go to this because for us, honorable mention, huge right now, 400-meter gold prediction. Ja'Cory Patterson no longer works at UPS. Brand new Nike contract. Friend to the show, Trackside. Gold for Ja'Cory Patterson. Diamond League.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah, momentum's on his side, and I would love to see him win, but I got Matt Hudson-Smith winning it.
There you go.
I got Ja'Cory second.
I got Ja'Cory winning. One of the first things they tell you in broadcast school is you can't have favorites, okay? That's no favorite athlete, no favorite country, and definitely no favorite guest. But WDC, we don't care here on Trackside because we stand and we admire Ato Boldon. He is Trinidadian, but also 50% Jamaican. Last time he schooled us on that part. Don't forget the 50%, okay? He's also a world champion and 4-time Olympic medalist. I forgot this one the last time he was on the show. He also, how cool is this, has a stadium named in his honor. Like, who does that? Ato Boldon, welcome back to the show. We're so happy to have you, obviously.
Thank you both. Good to be back. Although, as I told you before we started, I'm a little surprised that I got invited back because it got real spicy online with some of the stuff I said 2 months ago.
Listen.
Well, this is Trackside. This is what we do. We're here for the spice. So we brought you back and we expect nothing less.
Okay.
Let's hop right into it. You know, we got the World Championships left. It's the end of the season. That's the only big meet left on the calendar. And we need some bold predictions, man. What you got for us in the men's sprints? We're just going to go right into it.
I don't know how bold a prediction it is because he is literally running some of the best hundreds that I've seen of his career and some of this 2025 season. It's Oblique Seville.
Wow.
I don't know how anybody who is picking, well, I do. I did not in 2022. I thought Oblique was going to win a medal at Worlds.
You see?
He wins his heat, his semifinals. He's fourth in the final. In 2023, same thing. After 2023, I said, okay, I'm not picking him anymore. Of course, he doesn't have a good Olympic final. He gets 8th, and I went, aha. But this year, I don't see. I think he has paid his dues. I think he's figured it out.
Why though? Why do you say that? What do you mean? Like, what are you seeing or?
And he hasn't beaten Kipyegon yet at trials. What do you think is going to put him over the top?
He's scared of Kipyegon.
That is the one thing that concerns me. I was having a chat on IG Live with the fans, and somebody from Jamaica said, notice how Oblique never runs that well against Kipyegon, but he always gets up for Noah. And I thought, yeah, there's some weird things like that. I never beat Michael Johnson, but Maurice Green beat him at 200. Makes sense of that. So I understand that sometimes there are some nuances there, but there's no way, based on how he has looked so far, and not just how he ran against Noah, just how his races have looked, with the exception of his national championships, when I understand that he was cramping. I can't put 3 people to beat Seville, even though I said I would never pick him again.
Okay, so we'll see if Oblique does what you say he does. But I'm not ready to pick him, although he looks nice on the circuit. I feel like when he comes to rounds, he just doesn't have it. The Jamaicans are going to cook me. But I'm just saying, you're a believer. I'm not there yet. I need to see, not do it for a one-off. Fine. I need to see through the rounds. Wait, where do you have Noah finishing, by the way, if you're putting Oblique?
No, I have Noah on the podium. I don't look. I am of the firm belief that Kipyegon Thompson is the favorite. Most people think Kipyegon is the favorite, as he should be. He has not, he hasn't. Not that he hasn't lost. It's that he seems to be the best right now. But as you said, rounds can change a lot. When Kipyegon came out for Paris, I said Kipyegon is the favorite. But I worry about his relative inexperience. Well, he's still relatively inexperienced. So I'm not ready to bet the whole farm on Kipyegon, but I think Kipyegon has earned the right to be the favorite. Do I have Noah on the podium? Of course I have him on the podium. Right now, that's my podium. 2 Jamaicans and Noah.
Okay. Well, that's the 100. We all know that Noah's a doubler. We got other contenders, Tobogo, Kenny, who have something to say about that 200. What do you think in that event?
I think this is fairly easy. This is my event. I feel like I know it even better than the 100. I don't see a lot of drama here. Noah is in everybody's head with this 200. With Tobogo, we've seen it this year. Yeah, you go ahead. You beat me off the turn. I'll run you down. Oh, yeah, Mr. Kenny Bednarek, you ain't lost for the year. Guess what? You're going to lose today at Nationals. And we saw all the goings on after that. They said it's settled. That's not how sport and competition works. My podium is, I think, it's almost chalk, right? It's Noah, it's Noah, and it's Bednarek, and it's
That's Sile is what you're
Tobogo.
Yeah.
But
in that order?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The dark horse in that event is Lavelle from Jamaica. But I'm pretty sure about my podium. I just don't feel like 3 people have beaten those 3. But I could see Lavelle causing a stir if anybody makes any kind of inroads into that podium.
We got to move on to the women, because that's a compelling race in itself. Me and Perdita, my lovely co-host, have been going back and forth all year. I'm a Melissa supporter. I'm Star Athletics to the death, and she's a Juju fan. Not that I'm not against Juju. It's just, I ride for my team. Who do you have in Tokyo in that star-studded Women's 100?
You have West Indian blood in you, You have West Indian blood in you, Ato. Be careful.
Do you think 10.5 is on the board as well?
I said the last time I was here that I thought they were going to run 10.5. And I think people who don't understand the 100 go, oh, look, she only ran 10.60 whatever with a 0.0 win. And I'm like, yeah, it's getting there. I think it may take 10.5 to win, but neither of them is going there thinking, none of them is going to land in Tokyo thinking, oh, I have to run 10.5, because they understand that it's competition. If you run and win and it's 10.73, oh, well, you're the world champion. Nobody's going to remember the time. I think Melissa's the favorite, but she's supposed to be. She's the one that's undefeated. What does that matter when they get to the final? Very little, except maybe in Melissa's head where she's like, I ain't lost to nobody in no 100 meters this year, and I'm not gonna start now. Having said that, I think they have equal ability. I've said, I think if they run 10 times, it's 6'4" or 5'5".
That's true.
If that's the case, it means that when that gun goes in the air in Tokyo, no matter who said what, whoever executes best on that night wins. Who do I think that is? I think it could be Melissa, but would I be completely shocked to see the Olympic champion, put down a race like she had in Paris? Now, the difference between Paris and Tokyo, I think, is she's not gonna have that margin of victory that she had in Paris. There ain't no way.
No.
Unless Melissa is running in the other direction. But apart from that, I think the first two places are Melissa and Juju. I don't have any doubt about that. And I think Juju has earned being the favorite.
It's going to be a clash of the titans between these two. So let's switch to the 200 with women. Who gets the edge for you? In my mind, I would put Melissa ahead of Julian in the 200, but Aaron Brown, I don't think you see it that same way. But Ato, how would you see it?
I've gone on record already and said that I think while Melissa is the favorite in the 100, Julian is the favorite in the 200 gold. But how? Well, she's the Olympic silver medalist. We already know the gold medalist won't be there. 1. 2, whose personal best is faster? Juju's. Who has more experience in high pressure, high quality 200s dating back to her days at the University of Texas? That's easily Juju. So can Melissa win? Of course she can. She's been having a phenomenal season. But my favorite for the women's 200 because of those factors is Juju. Remember, this is also a season where Juju has been undefeated at 4, undefeated at 3. She has really been putting down some good over distance results. So, and then here's the last thing to your point, Perdita. I do believe that that Juju was very upset at what happened at Prefontaine when she took that narrow loss. How upset, how pissed off is she going to be if she loses the world title to Melissa?
That's what I was going to say next.
Now she's going to go into that 200. She's going to be like, oh, no. You may have got me in the 100. You are not stepping in this event that I got a silver medal in last year. So there is, the double does come into play. The other thing is, can Melissa run 21.8 after the emotional whatever's happened in the 100?
Yes.
Because we know Juju can, because she did it last year after all her 100 stuff. So for a lot of reasons, Melissa is not my favorite for the 200. Julian is.
It's crazy. We have very
sounds like I agree with Aaron.
Yeah, we have very similar takes in this respect, and I think it's that AB connection. You put me on
1.0, 2.0.
Yeah. But we talked about the 100. We've talked about the 2. But there's another sprint event that I'm very fond of. I think it's the 4x1. Talk to us about the talk to us about the predictions for that and who you have winning that, and who's the favorite to win, and why is it Canada?
The favorite to win is always going to be the United States, even though Canada. And I was saying this on another show. It's like you look up and you go, "Wait a minute." Canada won in Tokyo. Excuse me, Canada won in Paris. You guys were on the podium at Worlds, and how many of the last 2 World Championships?
We're Eugene gold, Tokyo silver, Rio bronze, Beijing bronze.
Yeah, in other words, if you look at consistency, you guys are actually the one with all the consistency.
That's right.
No, the US are going to start as favorites. They're the defending champs from Budapest. But at the same time, the US team has a new coach.
Yep.
They got rid of Michelle Freeman. And there are a lot of people, myself included, who are looking to see. Okay, I know that she was more on the women's side, but I am looking to see, did you make a change for the better, or did you change for change's sake?
Hey.
So the US will start as favorite. Are you guys at full strength? Is Andre good?
He'll be there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as Canada is coming in at full strength, I have you guys on the podium, and then give me a team like Italy, because they always seem to. Yeah. Third, I like a team like Italy. South Africa looks like
the Jamaicans right now are typing Ato. They're typing right now. Ato, stop, retreat.
Jamaica? They're the ones with the firepower to go with USA.
Retreat.
Because Everybody thinks you're going to put that Jamaican team together. Let me see that Jamaican team run first. The Jamaican team does not have legs that are particularly good with the baton. Trust me. Okay, so I know people go, oh, look, horsepower, Jamaica. Do I have Jamaica on the podium? Yes. But I think second or third is a little bit more open than people realize. That's all. That Jamaican team has not run together enough for me to say, oh yeah, they're a lock for the podium. Should they be on the podium? Yes. With Lavelle and Seville and everybody else, of course they should. But as we learn from the United States team every year, it is not just a matter of putting 4 fast guys on the track and oh yeah, here's our gold medal. It doesn't work that way. And fans tend to do that more often than not when it comes to a 4x1.
You heard it here first. Ato Boldon, Canada's men, 4x1 gold. This is why I invited you back. The check is in the mail. My friend, hold on. Ato, what is this I hear about your epic glasses from the Olympics? You don't know where they are? Did I hear that right?
They're never that far. Those are in a museum, but the rest of them are somewhere around.
You have museum. The man has stuff in museum, stadium, museum, Jamaican Trinity, everything, all the things. Pilot. Oh my goodness, Ato, you gotta come back again if we have a second season next year. We'd love to have you. Thank you for this.
Absolutely, always fun to be with you guys, and like you guys, I hope I enjoy Tokyo.
Yes.
I'll see you out there.
See you out there. Canada gold! Wasn't Ato great? I mean, I just love his takes. I mean, get a little controversial, a little polarizing, but we love it. It's time for shout-outs. And we only have one. We only need one. We are going to shout out an absolute legend. AB, you know we got to go with our girl, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, competing in, get this, you thought you were old, my friend, her 9th and final World Championships in Tokyo. The woman they call the Pocket Rocket is truly one of the GOATs of sprinting, period. I don't care. Man, woman, whatever. Put some respect on her name. We all do. We all do. Because she's won 5 golds in the 100 meters at World Championships, which is the most ever by a sprinter. And those 5 golds make up a total of 16 World Championship medals. 16. No, we're not glitching. We said 16, I know. Making her the most decorated sprinter ever. Oh yeah, she's also the first ever Jamaican woman to win the 100 meters at the Olympics. That came at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. I was there, I got to see the race, it was fantastic. Plus, she's the only sprinter ever to medal in the 100 meters at 4 straight Olympic Games. And the craziest thing is, all this happened over a span of 12 years, a decade plus 2, in which she also had a son named Zion. He's 7 this year. I mean, the longevity, the dominance, and how she's carried herself on and off the track. And this is not in the script, but I get to say this. All the colors of her hair, nobody's hair game is as on fire and as on fleek as Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I remember there's one championship, one day she had yellow hair, the next day they had green. All the people in the newsstands, they're like, how does she dye her hair? How does she do this? I said, worry about that. It's Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Black girl magic, that's how.
Come on. We don't need to explain nothing. They know it's that magic. It's that magic.
Yeah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I mean, she's got a great case to be made as the greatest 100-meter sprinter ever, regardless of gender. That includes people like Bolt, people like Maurice Green, people like Carl Lewis. I'm sorry. You just read that resume, and it's insane what she's been able to do, that longevity. That one season, I believe it was 2022, when she ran the most 10.6s in history. She was just 10.6, 10.6, 10.6. That was unbelievable. And she was making it look like it was something casual, like we just got used to seeing 10.6s. So she's one of the most iconic sprinters we've ever seen.
Most iconic.
For me, she's someone that I've always looked up to. And, you know, one of the first people that I met when I was younger in London 2012, I was actually kind of starstruck. You know, I did meet Bolt, but I also got to meet her, and I got to talk to her, and I was like, wow, I'm really talking to Shelly. And it was crazy. It was like something that is insane for me that she's still running in her 9th World Championships in 2025, 13 years later. So I got to give her respect. And, you know, I'd love to see her on the podium. Unfortunately, I didn't predict her, but I could be wrong.
I did.
Perdita's got her back, so
Yeah.
maybe he pulls it off. But regardless, if she gets another medal or not, she doesn't need to do
She doesn't.
anything more. She's
Nope.
already a legend in the game, one
Nope.
of the best to ever do it. Shout out to Shelly, and still my favorite race of Shelly. All the medals, all the golds that she's got, all the records that she's set. My favorite race is her cooking those parents at that parent teacher conference or that parent race, whatever it was. That's still my
Yes.
favorite ever.
The back to school race with her son
Yeah,
earlier
the back
this
to
year
school race.
was
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
I want to add this as an aside because we've just talked about her, we've praised her, and I don't think people understand something. I've worked in broadcast and been retired for a really long time, and I've had projects here at CBC, interviews, at track meets and different championships. And any time that I've asked for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's time to sit down, come on our show, I've had a podcast, at NACAC interviewing her in Mix Zone. This woman always finds and makes the time. I can't say that is true of every mega superstar in track and field. Some of them, they don't got time. They don't know nothing. Shelly-Ann, got you. That's who that woman is. That's a legend. It's our lucky day. We have another one of our faves on the show. And of course, it's Trackside's distance bestie, Kate Van Buskirk. Good to see you again.
So good to see you both. Hi, thank you so much for having me. And I'm in studio, which I absolutely love. What a joy.
Welcome back. Always love having you on the show. Let's get right into it, though. You're our distance expert around here. So let's talk about Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He's been missing this year. He's been dealing with an injury, but he's going to be competing in Tokyo. He just announced that. He'll be running the 15 and the 5K. So he's got double duty. He hasn't been running all season. What do you expect from him?
So I think this is going to be one of the biggest storylines of the entire championships. As you mentioned, he hasn't raced all season. He just confirmed on Friday that he's healthy. He's going to race in Tokyo. He's doing the double that was confirmed by Norwegian Athletics. And, I love this. He's just got so much swagger, this guy. Like, nothing can bring him down. He's like, look, this is what I live for. I live to compete. And it can't be that difficult, right? That's one of the quotes that was brought out from his most recent interview. And I just love that. Like, it can't be that difficult. Yes, I've been injured. No, I haven't raced. I think it's going to maybe play in his favor a little bit because he's such a gamer. He turns up, two-time defending world champion in the 5,000 meter. But because we haven't seen him race, there's a little bit of question about what his tactics are going to be like. How is he going to, has he been affected by not competing? Has he been affected by not having those race opportunities? He's turned out some great workouts, but we're going to have to wait and see what he brings to the table.
Yes, I am so curious. I've watched some videos of him on Instagram when he was coming back and hinting that he's healthy on the treadmill. I was like, attaboy, go ahead. So we'll have to see. So let's talk about the women here. Two Kenyan women, Beatrice Chebet and Faith Kipyegon. I know they have to run the race, Kate. I know you can't just give them the gold medals in the 5,000, the 10,000, the 1,500 meters. Am I also correct on that? But how do you see these two? Should we just etch their names in those and just, here, have it?
Honestly, I saw this prompt and my big answer was yes, all caps, 17 exclamation marks. These Kenyan women are absolutely on fire. They are the world record holders in their respective events. Of course, Faith Kipyegon, the three-time Olympic gold medalist in the 1,500 meter. She holds the three fastest times in history in the 1,500 meter, the only woman to go under 3:50 in that event. That is sensational. And she did, her most recent time was that 3:48 and change. And no woman has ever done that before. So Faith is on fire. She set that world best. We can't call it a world record in the mile, of course, with that Breaking 4 project, but she is the world record holder, the world best at multiple events, and I think she's just looking unstoppable. In the 5,000 meter, Beatrice Chebet, same thing. I mean, only woman in history to go under 14 minutes in that event. Again, last time we talked, look, I ran 14:59. I ran under 15 minutes, and I was ecstatic with that time. This woman has bettered that by over a full minute, and again, I'm, no one to necessarily be compared to, but I went to the Olympics in that event. So it's a big deal that she went under 14 minutes. It has been just a record-setting year. If I think there's one person that might disrupt either of those, it could be Gudaf Sagai. I think she's a bit of a wild card. The Ethiopian has been just chomping at the bit. She holds the second best times in multiple events. Only 9th at the Paris Olympics last year, but won the 1,500 at the World Indoors this year, and she definitely is hungry for a medal.
We have some beef, okay? So if you think about on the men's side, Olympic silver medalist, Canadian Marco Arop, also the reigning world champion. But there's a lot of predictions that has our boy off the podium, and I feel a way about that. But Kate, what am I missing here? Are they wrong? Are we wrong? Am I wrong? Like, what is happening? I feel disrespected on his behalf. Not that he is, but I feel this way.
I'm in your corner, and you know I always am. But look, haters are gonna hate. Okay, this is not, and we can be nice, polite Canadians, but we also have to be real, and we are real with Mr. Arop. Okay, this guy can do it all, and I think this is an interesting time in his career for Marco Arop. He's accumulated so many of the accolades that he's been searching for years, right? So missed out on those Tokyo Olympics, came back in the World Championships in 22, ran phenomenal. 23 wins the gold. Last year, silver, but 100th of a second. And I know that in both of your events, my friends, that is, a lifetime. It's still a big deal in the 800 as well. So for him to lose to Wanyani by just 100th of a second and still look so good, he hasn't necessarily put down the performances that we might expect are, indicative of World Championship gold this year, but I think that's a good thing. I think he has been pacing himself, he's been tempering his training, he's peaking at the right time, and if we look at the way that he ran the last two global championships, he was right to the back. Look, he's a big guy. I can relate. I'm 5'10" at race weight, I'm 130 pounds. That's a lot of body to move around a track with very little space to move. So he's got three options. He can run the outside and run a lot longer than anyone else. He can run to the lead and pace it from the front, which we saw in his younger years, but then you risk getting, caught and overpassed in the last 100 meters. Or you can do what we've seen him do in the last two global championships, which is just scoot himself right to the back of the pack and then make a big move between 450 and 600 meters, using that straightaway, that straight distance to get himself in position. So I think that although he hasn't necessarily turned out the performances we might expect this year, he is building towards something fantastic. And if we look to that final in Zurich at the Diamond League a few days ago, he matched the closing speed of the two guys that beat him, and he was right in the mix. So I think don't ever count out Marco Arop. You can come and fight me if you're going to count out Marco.
They're going to fight all of us, okay? We're a unified front for Marco.
Kate, we've talked about Ingebrigtsen and how he hasn't been on the scene all year. I talked about Keely, who showed up at a later part of the season and came out and smoked it. Someone else who's been off the scene is my boy, Moh Ahmed. I love watching him run. He's one of my favorite distance guys. He always has heart. He just loves to go after it. But he hasn't been on the scene really, but that's kind of his trademark. I feel like he's never really been on the radar until the World Championships or Olympics show up, and then he's in contention for a medal. Do you think he could pull out it again?
Like I said with Marco, I never count Moh out of any competition. He is really a vet now, right? He's a veteran on the scene. He's been at this for a long time. Yes. This is his 11th consecutive year making a global championship. So he has been at it, 4-time Olympian, multiple-time medalist. I think, Aaron, to your point, yes, he doesn't always turn up with a ton of strong performances throughout his season. The difference this year is this injury combination has really set him back. The last thing I'll say about Moh is, again, look, 4th last year in the 10,000 meter in Paris. He ran brilliantly. He was 2/3 of a second off of gold. He was 1/3 of a second off of a medal. And he did that after that devastating fall in the 5,000 where he didn't make the final. His composure is unbelievable. And in fact, if you look back at our very own Andy Petrillo's interview with Moh from the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, he's analyzing the race in real time immediately after. He is one of the most sort of reflective, self-aware athletes I've ever met. And I think that's one of his keys to success. He knows his career is probably not coming close to ending, but moving probably onto the roads from the track. And this is one of his, I think, last opportunities to really get after a medal. The last medal he got was that silver in Tokyo, and here he is back again on that same track. It's got to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely has. And speaking of Tokyo, I know you're wearing your Tokyo. I don't know if we're getting a full frame
of
it, but you're wearing your Tokyo 2020 shirt. And of course, we hope we see Moh Ahmed out there doing his thing for sure at full capacity. Kate, this is why you're our bestie. This is why we call you in, because you get to break it down so it's forever and consistently broken. And we appreciate you, my friend. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And I haven't officially said it yet, but Erin, congratulations. It was never in question, but congrats on being named to yet another World Championships team.
Yes.
You know that P and I are just going to be screaming our heads off for you the whole time you're there. And can't wait to follow it. But thank you both so much for having me back on.
Anytime, girl.
I appreciate it. And if I have any more tidbits, like the Birch Brown braids, I'll make sure to send you a text.
Love it. Please do.
I just love Kate. I just love all our guests. I do. They're all my favorites. We got to talk about Canadian storylines going into World Championships. I am so shocked that we have not mentioned this person's name not once in 16 episodes, but it stops now. Where the heck is Andre De Grasse? Like, where? I mean, 7-time Olympic medalist, no slouch, obviously, household name in Canada, but like, Dre, where are you?
Yeah, I mean, that's my anchor. That's my dog. We go way back, but you know, he's been off the scene this year, so it's kind of been they forgot about Dre, that famous Dr. Dre song, and that's kind of when he does his best work. When you're not expecting it, he comes out of nowhere and he'll sneak a medal or he'll sneak some big performance and just do something to remind you, like, oh yeah, Andre De Grasse, that's who we know and love. So who knows? I mean, we know he's been injured. He didn't run at Nationals. He didn't run at NACAC. No. But he's slated, I believe, to run in Beijing at the Continental Tour meets before the World Championships. He's going to run the 1-2 and the 4x1. So I think he's in shape. We'll see. I'm hoping so when we get to that relay. Yes. And, you know, we're going to be trying to defend our title, Olympic title. We're going to try and go, you know, get another gold in the World Championships. And, you know, Andre's going to be a part of that, of course. He's been a part of some big moments for Canada, of course, as we know. But, you know, regardless if he runs, we're going to still go for broke. So I'd love to have him. And we'll see what he's got.
But I feel like he doesn't really show up until he knows he's ready. Like, he's not going to get out there and just be, like, taking up a lane. He's not a lane filler. So, for sure, not at all. Okay, Sarah Mitton. She did an interview. I don't know if you saw it. It was very juicy. I liked it. With our Anastasia Busis. And I don't know, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, girl. Get in my DMs. But she looked fired up to me. She looked like, y'all tried to snatch this from me? Oh, it's on. She's on a revenge tour. But I think this is the best thing that could have happened to her. Not really. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this has got her lit.
Yeah. I mean, when she's in Tokyo in that circle, going for her throw, I wouldn't be surprised if she turned green and she said Hulk smash when she threw that ball, because she's going to be just livid after what happened in Zurich when she lost her Diamond League title. That was in her hands, and that precious money as well. But I think this is a great thing to happen for her as well. You know, throwing with a purpose. I think that's a good thing for you. You know, having that extra bit of hunger. I know she was already motivated from what happened after what happened last year in Paris, but even more so, it's like, y'all really try to take this trophy from me? Y'all trying to deny greatness from me? Don't y'all know I'm Sarah Mitton? Come on, and she's going to throw it out of the stratosphere. You know, I foresee this. And the revenge tour is definitely written in the stars.
She's throwing this thing to Mars.
Yeah, it's out of there. It's out of there.
I love this stat. Canada is going to the World Championships with 4 defending world champions. Ethan Katzberg, Cameron Rogers, Marco Arop, and Pierce Lepage in the decathlon. This is like one of the best teams that Canada has ever fielded. Do you feel the same way about their chances and that kind of the pedigree of this team?
Yeah. What did you say at the beginning of the show? Assemble. You know, we're assembling the Avengers, the Canadian Avengers.
This is it.
And I love the momentum we have. You know, we've had so many different people pop up in different events and do great things for Canada. And that's what you love to see. A well-balanced team between the men and women, between different events, just spreading the love. Yes. And it's always good to have defending world champions come back, try to defend their title. And that kind of just galvanizes the rest of the Team Canada, because we've seen Maple Leaf, a Maple Leaf representative on the top of the podium, seen that Canadian flag rise to the top, and we heard, oh, Canada. So it's like, okay, if they can do it, why can't we? And that energy is just infectious. So we love to see it, and I'm excited to see what these guys got.
It is long gone are the days where it's just one person or 2 people. I was in that era winning medals. Yeah. So this is nice to see the supporting cast. If you have not been sick of me, Aaron Brown and side pieces for 16 episodes, prepare to be sick of me now, because I'm going to ask my favorite question to Aaron Brown, which is, we're talking eras and the best Canadian 4x1 that ever did it. 1996, of course, y'all. 2004, and of course before that, and even now. We haven't officially asked you, and I feel a ways about that. And you need to answer now or not? Who
Okay.
is your pick? Defend your position.
I will answer, but the only caveat is you have to answer right after because we need to hold your feet to the fire too. I'm not doing this alone. But I thought long and hard about this. We've had all our guys come on and defend their case. And, you know, Anson was on the side of the 96 team. Our guys were on the 2024 team. And I gotta say this. When you've had such an iconic team who's come and been the first to do it, the first team to go out and, you know, set it straight, win that gold, it inspires a memory in the minds of so many Canadians, and that nostalgia factor makes it very hard for another team to supplant that. Them. So it's kind of like Michael Jordan, and then you have Kobe Bryant. Like in order for Kobe Bryant, who's a mirror image of Jordan, to be better than him in his minds, if you're not born in LA, you have to be so much greater. So you have to win like 8 rings for them to think, okay, Kobe's better, and he just didn't quite get it done. So when you have something that's so great that came first, you need something different that is also great. And that's why I believe we're the best team. Why? If you're just going off of individuals, you had Donovan Bailey, who broke the world record, ran 9.8. You got Bruni Stern, who's been on the podium in the 100, who ran 9.8. So individual accolades, I feel like they got us. But if you look at what we did last year in 2024, none of us made the finals, okay? We were the last ranked team to make the finals. We're in lane 9. Nobody expected anything from us, and we still won. That, to me, is a sign of greatness. So we're not talking about individual accolades. We're talking about a team, a unit. Which one is the best? And to me, I think it's us because we've shown that we can win despite our backs being against the wall. We proved that we can rise to the occasion. And it's not like we just threw 4 fast guys who've been lighting it up and running 9.7s and 9.8s and, you know, we just won with dominance. And when they won in 96, they went, like, Donovan had time to celebrate. We were just focused on business. We're just saying, we didn't have a great championships individually. Let's come together as a unit. We know we've got it done before in 2022. Let's lean on each other, get it done here in this biggest moment possible. We got one shot at this. Let's get it done. And we did it. And we got the longevity. We got the cohesion.
True.
We
got the relationship within each other, the brotherhood.
True.
And I believe that's why we're the best unit. You know, you can never count us out.
You know what? Do I even need to talk after that? Like, if this was a master's thesis, you would get the degree.
Yes, you do.
I would give you
you do. Add your take.
Okay. So, is it always fair to compare eras? That's one thing. Are we judging based on just the era, or are we just judging overall? I'm going to judge overall for a little bit. So, what you all have is that longevity. You have, while the landscape of sprinting has changed and changed often, you all prove that you can get it done consistently. Hats off to all of you. And of course, Glenroy Gilbert, like you're fearless leader. So that has been incredible. What you did last year in Paris from lane 9, come on. Did you see how many people screamed because no one predicted that? I mean, that was incredible. For me, I'm going to be honest, and I can't believe I'm saying this, okay? Because I still want you to like me, friend. I'm going to go with 96. And I do say a lot of it is, for me, is because of nostalgia, but hopefully I've backed it out. But to me, to compare what you guys have, the longevity, the medals, the money, okay, all of that, like right now, we are spoiled to have both teams. Like, what a silly conversation and a privileged conversation that we get to have and that Canadian fans and world fans get to have, right? Donovan, you still need to come on the show, sir. I saw you at a gala the other day, friend, and I'm glad that you didn't block me and we're still friends. But you need to come on the show, sir, so we can have the conversation. Maybe no. But Aaron, hopefully I made the point.
No. And I'm not mad at that at all. You know, I don't take offense. You're comparing us to greatness.
Sure.
And like you said, they came first. And that's why I give the analogy of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. You got to be different. To me, that's my criteria. So to me, LeBron James is the GOAT. That's why he's different than Michael Jordan. He's not a carbon copy like Kobe was. And I think you got to be the GOAT in a different area. He's not the GOAT because of rings. He's the GOAT for different reasons. And I think that's why we're the greatest team. But at the end of the day, you're comparing us to greatness. And all that matters is there's 2 Canadian teams 100%. That are Olympic champions. And then 100%. Hopefully in the future, there'll be 3. And then they can compare us to us. And we could be like, no, do you remember back in the day, you know, we came out of nowhere. And the longer you go, the further in time you get away from the moment, the grander the story gets. So we could be like,
Bridge.
yeah, Andre had a broken leg and AV came out of the blocks and he couldn't see out of one eye because the rain was coming down so hard.
Lane
And, you know,
10.
you just build it up. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
Yep.
I know a lot of people are a lot younger and, you know, 20, what was it? 20, how long ago was that?
What,
1996 is
Yeah.
29 years ago.
No,
Yeah,
it's more
29
than
years
that.
ago.
Is it 29?
I think so.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
quick math. 29
Yeah.
years ago.
Yes.
So that's a long time ago. And a lot of people hold
Yeah.
that near and dear in their hearts. And we'll never be able to top that. Even if we ran 35 seconds, it's still, that moment was just so iconic. So
I agree.
all
We'll
the
leave it
respect
there.
to the legends. I pay
Yeah.
homage, but I just got us. So
But
it is what it
both
is.
great, like
Both
you said,
great.
iconic, supreme teams. This is not comparing
Yeah.
this to that. It's like here, but what do you
Yeah,
prefer?
different eras, different
Exactly.
eras. Yeah.
You know? I'm so excited for our next guest. Okay, she equaled the Canadian record in London, Ontario earlier this summer, and she's also part of Canada's women's 4x1 team. Sade McCreath, welcome to Trackside.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Sade, you know, we're getting ready to go to Tokyo, get ready for the World Championships, but we're winding back about this season. It's kind of been a breakthrough for you this year. And it's been fun watching you and Audrey go back and forth with that Canadian record. Because historically in Canada, it's always been the men's sprints that have gotten all the attention. And now we have not one, but two sub-11 girls in the 100. So talk to us about that. What's that friendly rivalry like? What's your relationship like with Audrey? And how's it been going sub-11 this year?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I love the rivalry that we had. My relationship with Audrey is very unique. So we both got on the scene or the Canadian senior relay camp training around the same time back in 2019. So we've been roommates for every single training camp, every single
Wow.
world team, or anything like that. So we've had a very close journey. We've shared each other's or our goals with each other. We've had low moments with each other. So watching her run as well as she did last year was like, I was probably one of her biggest supporters because I know how hard she worked for it. So now that we're both running 10-9 and we go back and forth, it's very exciting to have that back and forth. And I love that it's not just about what the men are doing, it's that Canada has fast girls. We're running world times here in Canada and we're going back and forth. So it's pretty fun.
Has your relationship changed since you ran sub-11?
I don't think so. I still love her to death. I think um it's different in the sense of like
You're a little bit
we're
more of a
both
threat now.
I wouldn't say a threat in that way because I think for me when I'm on the world stage, like it's not I want to be her specifically, it's more I want to be the best version of myself and I have these other 8 girls on the track with me to push me to myself, but I think it's a little bit more competitive back
Hmm.
home because now we have that rivalry. I feel like in
Yeah,
the past we've had a lot of girls that go like 11-2, 11-3, and that's kind of been the standard for the
right.
women's side.
Yeah.
But now that we have girls we're going 11-0, 10-9, like I feel like it makes it more fun and I like to see like okay, now she ran 10-9-4. So it's
Hmm.
like damn, I want to run 10-9-3. Like I think
Mm.
that back and forth makes it more fun. Like if she does it better, I want to be better and I like the back and forth.
We like it too. Listen, I know exactly what you're saying. Okay, basically, what you're saying is I want to be the best in my own backyard, in my own territory. I used to be the same way. I had rivals all the time. So you can talk that talk on the show, girl. We know exactly, and I'm sure Audrey feels the exact same way. This is my
Mhm,
house. We get this.
mhm.
So I don't know if you know this story, but I met your mom, Charlene, many years ago. We were in Al's West Indian store in Pickering, Ontario. Shout out to the hometown. And she told me about her daughter, and she was so proud of her.
Of
And I was like
course.
giving her recommendations for track clubs and whatnot. And she texted me this summer when you went and equaled the Canadian record. And she was, girl, she's so incredibly proud of you. What has been the difference maker for you this year? Why are you now on the scene? What has been the change for you?
For me, I feel like it was confidence. I feel like I was lacking that a lot in previous seasons. A lot of times I questioned, am I good enough? Am I gonna perform well? I got older, so I felt like watching the US collegiate girls or freshmen and sophomores were running 11-0, 10-9,
Yeah.
and I still hadn't broken that barrier yet. I started to really doubt myself. And I think this year I was just like, you know what? I don't really care about what other people are doing. It's what can I do? And I really think like a switch went off for me and I just went after it unapologetically and I didn't care about looking any type of way. It was more like I'm about to do whatever I got to do because I have this goal.
That's dope. And you guys talked about the friendship already, between you and Audrey and the rest of the
Mhm,
girls in the relay pool. You guys have set a Canadian record at the Paris Olympics last year, and then you again set another record at World Relays. How
mhm.
do you guys keep elevating, and what's on the horizon for Tokyo? Do you guys think you have a shot at getting on the podium eventually? Like, what does success look like for you guys as a collective?
Um, I think we just keep getting better individually. And I think with all of us getting better, we have faster individual legs. So that's obviously going to be a drop in times. And I think our chemistry right now is like chef's kiss. Like, not to compare us to the 4x1 guys, but I feel like we're getting to that point where like we could tell when each other is kind of off or having a good day. Like, we just have that good relationship and that good chemistry. So when we get on the track, we're not just running for ourselves or running for each other. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we get better and better every time. So I don't doubt that we'll probably break the record again at World Championships. Um, I want a medal. I know all the other girls want a medal. So that's definitely the goal. But we just got to make sure everybody is healthy, ready, and prepared when we get out there.
So I know, obviously, I know you off the track or in person. We're on the
Mhm,
same team, and we've been teammates, and we had chances to chop it up a couple times. And I know how much work you've put in. And off the track, you work and you have a job. I want you to
mhm,
talk to the audience about just tell us what it's like having to be a world class athlete, trying to be one of the fastest people in the world, while
mhm.
also keeping a full time job, and like just talk about your experience with that.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so it's so
Yeah.
incredibly hard. Like, I tell people all the time my life is on a very, very strict schedule because I spend so much time at the track. I spend probably 4 hours minimum at the track, but then I have to go
Yeah.
directly from the track to work and then I still have to work. I don't have a flexible job. I have to work my 8 hours. So after having a full training session of running, lifting weights, getting treatment, doing all of that, then I go directly to work. I work 8 grueling hours sitting in a chair, dealing with my clients. So it's very challenging, it's very difficult, but I think I found a really good balance in
Mm.
being able to do it. And a lot of times I often wonder what I could do if I didn't have to do both, if I was just solely focused on one, but that's not my reality. It's a lot of athletes' realities, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a balance. It's a very difficult
Delicate.
balance.
Yeah. I can imagine what you're saying because you're thinking about like if I was not sitting here on my hamstrings, what could I be doing? But I think your mindset is so great because you're thinking, okay, I don't want to do this. It's not ideal for me. But here's the deal: if
Mhm,
you do it right without letting it be too much of a stressor for you, and you focus on what you can
mhm,
control, which is your performances on the track, your training, your mindset, then one day the reality that you want will be that I'm a full time
mhm,
professional athlete, right? But I want to know for you,
mhm,
big picture, overall, overarching, like what do you want to accomplish in the sport? And we're also manifesting that for you, right? Full time pro athlete.
mhm,
Like it's gonna happen.
mhm.
For you overall, what do you want to accomplish with the sport? What would you be like, yes, this is my next? What is that for you?
Overall, like big picture goal, I want to be the best in Canada. Like I
Mm,
want to
mm,
run
mm.
10-7
Ooh.
realistically. Like
Oh, you
funny
want to
enough,
drop
last
that
year
record?
my
Yes.
Yeah, she
it's
wants to
it's
claim that record.
I
Do
do.
it.
I very much do. Last year I had on my mirror 10.95 and this year I got it. So I've
Yes.
updated it since then and so when I leave this sport, I
Mm,
want my name to be there as Canadian record holder. I would
love
love
it.
to have several national titles under my belt and then I just want to be able to say I've competed in the world with the world's best. So I want to not just get to world championships, like I want to be in the finals, going neck and neck with the world's best. So that's the end goal for me. And I don't think I'll
Okay.
stop until I get that.
Nope.
All
Do
right.
not. We like that, Aaron Brown. We like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a big part of this sport, any sport, but really ours especially, is you have to be able to speak things into existence. You have to be able to believe them. And the fact that you're writing stuff on your mirror, on your walls, and you're saying them out loud, you're giving them life. And you're also telling yourself, like, I deserve this. So when you do this, we will not be surprised. Not at all. Okay, tell
You
your
heard it
mama.
here first on Trackside.
This is it. And please tell your lovely mother, Charlene, to text me, okay? And tell her I say hello.
I will.
And, yes.
I will.
And Aaron will see you in Tokyo. I won't, but he'll see you in Tokyo. I'll be covering it from this side. Good luck, girl. Good luck.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you in
Appreciate it.
Tokyo.
I'll see you.
Oh, we have reached the end of the rainbow. We have reached the end. Hard to believe. We started this in May, episode 1, and here we are in September, episode 16. Okay, a couple housekeeping things quickly. AB, thank you for the happy birthday wishes last week, and thank you for everybody who spammed the comments wishing me happy birthday. Thank you so much. But our attention has to be on the best co-host I could ever ask for, going to another world championship. Travel well, my friend. Give them licks. Do your thing. Enjoy the process. I like the little braid, the braid up. Do your thing. Do you know what I mean? We're wishing you all the best. You ready? You packed? Where's the baggage? Where's the luggage?
I'm ready. My bags are outside. They're ready to go. And I got to say, this has been a great experience for me as well. The best co-host who've been carrying the show for a lot. You know, you've done a lot of the
We do
reads and all that stuff. And I'm learning on the job. I'm getting stronger each week. But I was really impressed by how well you were. And that helped me to grow in my, in my role and come into my own and take harder takes. You know, each week I try to get a little bit more bolder and, take a little more chances. And it's been a lot of fun. And I feel like, the audience, if you want to see us come back for season 2, spam season 2 in the comments. Just say season 2, season 2, season 2. Let our producers know. So you want to run
this back? You think we should run it back?
You want to run it back? You want to run it back? Let them know. Just spam in the comments.
I love
run it back. Season 2. We need more trackside, more side pieces, more life. We're going to Tokyo.
More of it. Let me say this quickly. It's gonna be like a 10-hour episode, yo. They're gonna be so sick. just listen. But I will say this about you, Aaron Brown. I remember one of our first meetings. I had messed something up, something minor about where someone was in a race that wasn't or it wasn't an event. I think it was like Sealy Tobago, and you caught it. You're like, no, P, I think it's this. And from that day, it was like our very first take, or not very first take, but our very first day. I'm like, wow, we're gonna work really well together. You don't have an ego. You're not all about yourself, and like you. I've literally not ever done this before, and your takes are good. You're well researched. You show up on time. This has been a pleasure for me. So if this is a resume for next season 2, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do
Producers, that. You hear us? Gotta run it back. They
have
back
to
by
pay
popular demand.
They have to pay us a little more money, but
of course. Yeah, we'll get to that. But
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm counting on
that. Season 2 in the comments. Let them know.
Bam. So this is. Actually, wait a minute. We're not actually done, though. I'm sorry. I take that back.
Just me.
No, you're not even actually done either. We're done this. We're taking a different version of the show. But remember, we're coming back with like a huge rap episode party kind of thing. Yes. We're going to have special guests, people back. Hopefully we got some medalists on our show to kind of tie up the season 1 with a bow. It's going to be after the Worlds, obviously. You'll be back. I'll be back. We'll all be here. But please subscribe to our CBC Sports YouTube channel so you don't miss the updates during World Championships. And again, for our wrap-up post show after Worlds, you want to come back for that. Anything else I'm forgetting? I think we've kind of done it all.
Yeah, I'll just throw out another disclaimer. None of our takes are personal. We love you guys as fans. Don't come for us. Don't come for P. We love you. We're just trying to bring in entertainment. And our takes are our takes. You can have your own opinions. But at the end of the day, it's all love. It's all fun. It's all for entertainment and for the betterment and the enjoyment of watching the greatest sport on earth, track and field. So thank you guys for tuning in week in and week out. It's been a blast. Like P said, we'll be back for the wrap-up show. I'm going to go do my thing in Tokyo. I'm going to bring the hot fire, like I always like to say. I'm going to put that on a shirt. Bring the hot fire. But it's been real. It's been a lot of fun. And definitely got to do this again. Season 2. Spam the comments.
Let's do it. Good luck, my friend. We'll see you later.